Oh, one moment. Can we get a focus here? Say hi. Yeah, that's what it is. Bye. Now we can get going. Hello everyone! Today we're gonna be doing something way different because, you know, the weather in Poland has turned into just apocalypse really. In my city of Krakow it's pretty much flooding everywhere, and even though I have some cool ideas that I wanted to create something really cool showing Krakow, showing like cinematics, all that kind of stuff you'll see in the future, but I can't do them because it's flooding everywhere. And how can I record something cool if it's flooding? So because of that, we're stuck inside for like the last 2 or maybe even almost 3 weeks, with maybe like 1 or 2 days here and there where we had a little bit of sun, or at least not raining. It has been raining at least for a couple days non-stop. I didn't see a stop. So it's kind of weird, and because of this, we're stuck in the office, in the house. So what I thought would be really funny to do is I wrote on a No Small Creator on YouTube, or Facebook actually. I said something along the lines, let me find that. Planning to make a video about Poland. What are some assumptions, stereotypes about Poland and Polish people? And I thought, you know, if we're gonna have stereotypes, assumptions about Poland and Polish people, why not make it right now? Let's just have a fun segment. Let's see what we read, what others are thinking about Poland and Polish people, because that might actually turn out really funny. Okay, let's see what we have here. There's a lot of people from Poland in Norway working cheap here. I guess the assumption is people in Poland don't earn much. True and false, it all depends. Like, that is something that I like to talk a lot about, because we get as much as you do in Norway, I guess, or in any other part of the European Union, but it would be 1-to-1. So if you're earning like 2,000 euro, you're gonna have 2,000 zloty here. So, you know, it's a funny thing, because if you were to actually count, the zloty is like 4 zloty is only 1 euro. It's 4-to-1. So basically, even though it's 1-to-1 in earnings and spendings, if you count it by 4, it means you get more. So a lot of people go to work to different countries so that they have more money. Basically, if they are making 100 euro, they're pretty much making 400 zloty, so like 4 times the amount they would get here for the same job, or sometimes more, sometimes less. But that is like a principle why there's Polish people living in different countries and working in different countries, because of the value of the pretty much the currency that they're using, or we're using. Okay, all Polish words end in ski, and then someone actually responded, all Polish last names do, that's for sure. Okay, and I'm not sure about that, and the 2 people that actually did that, they have the last names with ski, which is really funny. Basically, it's not the words that are ending in ski, it's actually the other way around. It's not the words, it's actually the last names. A lot of last names, Polish last names, end with ski. And fun fact, my last name isn't ending with ski, even though it's a Polish, and I have a special Polish letter, but it's not ending in ski. So not all, but that is true. That is actually true. Like, a lot of Polish names end with ski, and you will know, like, if you hear a name and you hear that, you know, in the last name, that ski ending, you're pretty much sure that it's either Polish, Polish, Russian, that kind of stuff. But they have different spellings. I think they have like SKY or something like that, like a little bit different. But we have SKI, which is really cool. At the same time, really funny, because a lot of people really do have SKI, ski, in the last name. What do we have next? In the Netherlands, we always assume Polish are lazy and cheap. Stereotype. I don't really know how to respond to that one. I don't really know how to respond so that I don't offend any sides of the story here. Well, I don't know. Maybe I am lazy. No, but in all seriousness, I don't really know. To be honest, I have no idea. But that could be true. That is not something I'm really gonna judge because I can't. Because I know a lot of hardworking Polish people and I know a lot of totally lazy and cheap, so I'm not gonna go in that. That you all have a HGV? What is... I remember checking that out once I got that comment. It was something like a for like the bigger trucks license, like that all the Polish people have the truck license, and that's not true, but that is like there's a lot of truck drivers and that kind of stuff from Poland. So in a way, if you actually live somewhere outside of Poland and you find a lot of those type of people where like you're on the route of theirs, you're gonna believe that. And I think there's a lot of drivers actually. If I think about it, I think Poland has a lot of truck drivers that the men drink beer for breakfast daily. How can I respond to this when I'm not, like, I never drink any alcohol, like I'm totally out of alcohol. I don't drink alcohol at all. It's choice, I just don't like it, I don't feel like doing it. Not my cup of tea, and because of that, I'm not gonna respond to that, but that is true. In the sense that there's people that like beer. Like, yeah, Polish people are known to like beer. But I don't think so they drink for breakfast. But I know there's gonna be a lot of people that drink daily. I don't know, my guess. Potatoes, I don't know why, but when I hear Poland, I think potatoes. True, this is something that I'm not a big fan of, because I'm not a fan of potatoes. But in Poland, the lunch menus are almost always with potatoes. Like, potatoes are everywhere and everything you can pretty much think about. Like, there's even like different kinds of, I don't even know how to call them, but there's like different kinds of food that are potatoes. Like, different kinds of food. They're made in like, I don't know, like, I don't even know what to say, like pancakes made out of potatoes, like something like that. Like, what is going on? But there's like totally so much potatoes in almost every dish that I'm not a big fan of, but that is true. Poland is very connected with potatoes. Okay, what do we have next? Before I went to Poland, I thought it would be quite a boring place, but the history, architecture, and museums, Auschwitz of course, were fascinating, and I would love to return. You should. Also, a stereotype is that they're super hardworking and males have strong masculine identity and love bodybuilding. My Polish ex was perfect example. Well, Poland is interesting if you like history, if you like medieval times, or like World War II, World War I, that kind of times. Definitely interesting. Definitely interesting in the architecture and like castles and everything, like here we have in Krakow. The stereotype about super hardworking and males have strong masculine identity. I would say yes. Like, percentage-wise, I think there's a lot more Polish people that are looking at their, you know, body and like going to the gym, making sure they're like bodybuilders and everything, looking good. And that is true. I think there's a lot more Polish people actually, or like guys are like that. Super hardworking, I would say yes and no. Depends where you go, depends where you see, what do you see. I know that in US that was same, like they would say they are super hardworking. So yeah, that is a stereotype I've heard before. There is a kind of a joke stereotype that Polish people steal a lot of cars in Germany, Austria. Not necessarily true, but there are lots of jokes around that stereotype. I think I know where that comes from. There has been a time, from what I remember as a kid, where actually we would see sometimes like a car, like two cars speeding way faster than you should, and one of them would have like no license plates, and because of that you would probably assume, like we would assume, that they pretty much stole the car and just heading out of the way, and then the second car that is speeding is there so that the police catch them and let go of the other car. If that is true, I am not sure, and I don't know if that happened often, but it did happen at least a couple times that I saw, and I'm not really sure. It could be someone not even from Poland, it could be from a different country, but I saw that kind of happen. Not anymore though, like I haven't seen that in like 10 years or so. But that is, it probably ends up being a joke now. I could see how that turns into a joke. You really don't want to know. Well, now that you said it, I do want to know. Tell me, please. Okay, they have good beer and sausage. And funny thing is, our neighbors, Germany, are the ones that usually get the credit for beer and sausage. But I think we have good... I'm not gonna say beer because I don't drink, but I heard that it's good. But I will say that the sausage here is really good. I was like, really good. People love it here. So that's it from the post that I had. But let's say we wanted to find a little bit more. Maybe we can find... I just found a website that actually has Polish stereotypes about Poland and Polish people. Let's see. It's actually staypoland.com. Nice. Poles don't speak foreign language, and I do. What now? No, actually, that is true. I feel like the learning English in schools isn't that good. I feel like a lot of people just do it because they have to, and I don't think so. Like, people here don't actually have good English education in school in that format that they want to do it. It's kind of like the only thing they're doing is they want to have a good grade and they forget about everything. I'm a different example because I lived in Chicago for elementary school and middle school, so you know, I'm there and here it's kind of a different story because I got to live there, and because of that I have a different kind of English than people would have just living here their whole life. But I've noticed that people that, like, from Italy especially, they have really good English, even though it's like pretty much the same case. It's a second language in school, which is crazy. Like, that is so cool. Poles never smile but complain a lot. That is actually something that I say a lot. That is true. I'm totally saying that is true. I will not criticize that. That is true. Third stereotype. Poles are intolerant and full of anti-Semitism. What is anti-Semitism? I don't even know what that is. But Poles are intolerant. If you come to a country, you should respect their culture, their rules, and everything. So what Poles don't like is when there's people that are coming from different culture and they're trying to throw their culture at you pretty much, and doing whatever they would do in their culture. Like, when we go to different countries, Poles try to, you know, be good with the culture, with the rules and everything. But there's a lot of times we've seen that people come from different cultures to Poland and they start being disrespectful or doing their ways, and that is not cool. And we Polish people tend to, like, right away just hate on them because of that. So it's not that, like, that is my point of view, and I don't know, maybe others have a different point of view, but that is how I see it. Let's go. There's two more. Let's do it. Fourth stereotype. Poles abuse alcohol. That is true in a way, but I think there are countries that are doing it more than we do. In all honesty, I feel like there is a lot of people that drink. Like, there's a lot of drinkers. But I also think there's a lot of people that don't drink, and it's kind of like a 50-50. Either way, I think Poland is a country of drinkers in a way. They like alcohol. Fifth stereotype. Organized crime and car theft are part of everyday life. And Poland is said to be an extremely dangerous country, which is hard exaggeration. Okay, so here they're saying, like, you know, it's a little bit not as safe. You might be, you know, what is it, robbed or killed anywhere or anything, blah blah blah. Like, that is the stereotype. But here they're saying that you're gonna have more chance of being robbed in, like, I think they quote here St. Peter's Square in Rome, like in all those famous places, you know, like all those popular places in Europe. And in my experience and what I see, I think Poland, and especially Krakow because I'm here, I think it's much safer than almost anywhere in the world right now. Like, to be honest, when I was looking at places to travel to, I feel like every single place is in some way or form a little bit dangerous. Even places in Europe that you think, you know, nothing's gonna happen there, there has been some kind of problems, like attacks and everything, people being robbed and everything. I feel Poland has become one of the safest places in Europe right now. That's my opinion, and I never felt scared going in the town. Never felt like someone is gonna be robbing me. Even if you're in a place that is crowded, you never really feel that pressure that someone might be trying to snitch something from you, or like, you know, trying to get your purse or anything. There's nothing like that here for some reason. And also, going to the point of that said the Poles are intolerant, that could be also the reason. You see, because there's less foreign people, maybe that is the reason that there isn't too much. Like, I know that Polish people tend to be, they may be, you know, not smiley, not sometimes a little bit too crucial, and maybe sometimes too, like they say here, complain a lot. But at the end of the day, they're good people most of the time. Even if they were gonna say something bad about you or hate something about your clothing or whatever they would say, they will not go beyond a certain, you know, they're not gonna rob you, they're not gonna kill you, they're not gonna kick you, they're gonna do nothing. It's just gonna go their way, complain and go their way. So I think, in my opinion, Poland is actually one of the safest now in Europe. But that is my opinion. I think it's everybody's opinion too. When they come here and see if they like it, if they don't like it, how do they feel about this? So those were the stereotypes about Polish people in Poland, and I think it was a really cool thing to do. Like, I thought, you know what, it's gonna be fun. So if you have any suggestions what we could do, something along these lines, like this was actually really cool to read something about that. So if you have any suggestions, whatever it is that it has to do with Poland or Krakow, let me know in the comments down below, because that would be really good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. One more thing, check out Travel the World on Facebook. That is the Facebook group. If you're into travel, go check it out on Facebook. Like, click Travel the World and join our little big community. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I'll see you next time.